much needed north-south connection between Loudoun and Prince William counties. 90 seconds.
Yes, I do support the Bicounty Parkway. I also support the widening of Route 7. This is about to begin, which I think is going to be a great boon to continuing moving traffic from Loudoun County through the region. That widening is being supported from the transportation bill that the Congresswoman did vote against. You know, transportation, we need multimodal transportation options. We need to do all of the above. We need bus service, we need bike trails, we need road improvements, we need a safe and reliable metro. My concern with our Silver Line stops, when they open in 2020, we have to connect to a healthy and reliable system. If we don't, a huge opportunity for growth is going to pass us by. So I will work to ensure that Metro gets the funding necessary to make this a safe and reliable system, and that's going to take federal involvement. I have watched the hearings, the Metro hearings, and I've seen the Congresswoman question Metro officials, and all I've seen is criticism. I've seen no solutions. In business, you can't afford just to be a critic. You have to find solutions. Sometimes they're not perfect solutions, but we have to move this forward. So I look forward to being a part of the solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Congresswoman Comstock, 90 seconds.
I think the original question was
Bicounty Parkway.
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, from my relationships and working with people, I see we have some of our local officials here too from Prince William. This is something you have to work from the ground up. The reason the initial effort to put this in there did not work is because the officials from the state level, I was in my own party, did not go and work with the local delegates, work with the local delegation, and we have to do that. We can find consensus when we work that way. On widening of Route 7, I've already worked on that. I stood with my predecessor as a delegate, and Vince Callahan was still there with us, and we celebrated how we came together and worked on working out those issues. There were a lot of issues along Route 7 and expanding that. Again, my opponent, when talking about Metro, she's been endorsed by a dysfunctional union that is being sued by the Obama administration. Now, how bad do you have to be as a union if this administration is suing you? And this is a union that won't work with our new general manager, who I work with all the time. I mentioned that we got the crime reporting change. I can assure you, Paul Wiedefeld, the new general manager, who comes out and works with us on a weekly, monthly basis, appreciates that I am engaged and involved. We both are critics. Believe me, Paul Wiedefeld is a critic of what's going on Metro. If you're not a critic right now of the safety culture at Metro and what's going on, you're not seeing reality. But we're coming up with solutions. When we had a hearing, I talked about having better, be happy to talk to that again.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett, 60 seconds.
I'd like to address this issue of the fact that Congresswoman Comstock says she's going to be a member of the majority. First of all, that's a big assumption at this point. I think it's kind of up for grabs who's going to be in the majority in the House. But second of all, to be a member of a majority that works less than half the business days in a session and gets less done, passes no appropriations bills, doesn't pass any significant or very little significant legislation. I don't know what that does for any of us. I believe that we need to work. I think Congress should have a minimum number of days that it's required to work. We require schools to teach children a minimum number of days. Congress should go to work, and Congress needs to get the work done for the American people. This Republican-led Congress is simply not doing that. It's got to change, and you need people there who are going to change it.